ENFJs can easily fool themselves into believing they are introverted, since their NI causes them to be highly introspective at times, but their dominant function is still FE, thus an extroverted function. Zendaya's FE is quite clear, since she is very open, warm, and emotionally expressive. She focuses on the emotions of those around her and wants to create a positive and harmonious environment. But we also see a strong SE in her. There is a certain boldness and directness to her at times and a sense of aesthetics and fashion. She is quite grounded in the present and less detached than INFJs often appear, since her SE is quite well developed. She seems to have clear future goals and a certain vision of where to go, but her NI isn't so strong that it would be her dominant function. She's introspective, reflective, and can go abstract, but her FE is clearly her preferred function.
Can I borrow that purple dress? Just take it, dude. I don't care. I know you're gonna give it back. Like, I have all your clothes and you have all mine. Like, that's what we do. I never meant to hurt you. You learn as a human being what hurting people is. You know that, oh, if someone does that to me and that hurts, I wouldn't want to do that to someone else.
All this points to FE. She leads everything with it. She is generally like a glue that holds a community together. She can look at feelings by external criteria and nurture them based on it. Also, she is expressive, both verbally and through clothing. She once said that she is a
very shy, introverted person.
But this doesn't make her an INFJ, because social introversion isn't the same as cognitive introversion. And if you want to know the truth about someone, that someone is the last person you should ask. Most of her answers in interviews revolve around how much she cares about making a positive impact on other people, which is more about her FE than her NI. She does use TI to formulate answers to the questions, but her TI exposes itself as an inferior function whenever she tells interviewers to skip some questions that she feels uncomfortable answering or can't answer on the spot, because she simply doesn't know how to answer. Sure, INFJs may have more trouble than ENFJs with sharing their answers due to a lower FE function, but it's not about coming up with answers, since NI and TI are stacked higher than ENFJs. What Zendaya is struggling with here is not about her inability to express herself. We already know she can express herself well. Her struggle is with formulating a proper answer to such questions.
How was it? Actually stressful, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really hard for me to pick one thing. Like, I don't have a favorite movie, I don't have a favorite color, I don't have a favorite food. I never have. Like, my whole life, I never was like, oh, this is my favorite color, or this is my favorite food.
She has an inability to specifically choose one thing. She can't really decide for herself what her favorite food, favorite movie, favorite color is. She clearly has a weakness in one of her judging functions, which is concerned with decision making. More specifically, she struggles with making decisions for herself. On the other hand, her stronger judging function lets her effortlessly make decisions in relation to others. Again, she relishes in her FE. She said she wishes she could expand her vocabulary, but she rarely reads books because she gets bored, but she's trying to get better at that. She also cited a modern director in a show she starred in as her favorite writer. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's simply that she has less experience with books and literature, and instead finds herself more engaged in the acting industry, which seems to stimulate her tertiary SE. An INFJ with inferior SE, however, would more likely be drained at having to use SE all the time, but Zendaya repeatedly mentions how grateful she is to get to do what she does for a living, and it doesn't feel like work for her. SE seems to energize her more than drain her. She loves her work and loves being surrounded by creative and talented people like herself.
Surrounded by like these creative, amazing, talented people, and I love being able to get up and go to work every day. When I get to do a different project or find a different character and go to work every day, I'm happiest.
She says she wants to live in complete isolation, but then immediately says that she also wants to live in New York City, as she loves the fast-paced environment. It seems more like a balanced SE that's somewhere in the middle instead of as an inferior function. It's likely that her inferior TI is causing her to be so undecided between living in a quiet city and living in a crowded city. An INFJ would simply choose the quieter city and wouldn't be torn by that choice. Zendaya's viewpoints indicate that her NI is strong, But even so, it's not a dominant function, as Effie seems to act as a filter for her viewpoints. When she gets asked a question that she can give a proper answer to, she gets straight to the point. INFJs generally struggle more with this. Thank you for watching. Do you agree with our breakdown? If you enjoy our content and want to see more, please leave a comment and subscribe to our channel.